today we will be talking about, hold on y'all, gotta make sure my hair okay. Okay. Wait a minute. So today I am going to be talking to y'all about how to deal with negative energy. Like if you are currently in an environment where it's just always something negative, whether it's your job, whether it's some of the people who you may be around, or whether it's your family. I'm going to talk to you about how to handle yourself when you are inside of a situation where someone is being negative and you kind of have no choice but to be around them. So a lot of the time when other people around you are being negative, that affects you, okay? It may drain you mentally, it may drain you emotionally, and it may also cause you to become negative as well. So it may cause you to start just, talking negative as well, such as gossiping. It may, kind of influence you to join in on conversations that you ain't got no business joining into, okay? Like certain conversations about other people who you shouldn't really be talking about. It just affects you. Or it may have you, leaving the environment just feeling just groggy. So things like that used to happen to me all the time. So when I first decided to start making changes when it came to myself, and when I first started to walk with God and everything, I started to realize that a lot of people around me were just plain out negative. And the thing is, I didn't know how to take it. I used to just let it be shown all over my face. And on the outside, other people probably thought that it was just me being stuck up. But the whole time, it was just negative energy just was draining me. And I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to go about it. It would be from people who were the closest to me. Like people who I could not, really, not be around, And it's like I did not know how to handle it. I did not know how to go about it. So something that I realized that worked for me is that I don't allow other people's situations, the way that they speak about other people, the way that they may even speak to themselves. I do not allow that to interfere with me and how I feel. I don't allow the way that other people speak about other people. I do not allow that to influence me. Well, at least I try not to, okay? I try not to allow that to influence me to think or, say just nasty, horrible things about other people as well. So the way you can go about this is you can either ignore what they say and literally zone out and just continue being in your own zone. So if they say something like, did you hear me? If they say something negative about someone else and they're like, okay, did you just hear what I said? And you could just be like, if you're zoned out in your own zone, not focusing on anything they said anyway, you can literally respond back and be like, no, I didn't hear a thing you said. I'm tending to this over here. So that's one thing that I like to do. I literally like to just zone out and be in my own zone, especially when I just, have a feeling that someone is about to be negative. Another thing I like to do is I like to try to flip negatives to a positive. So I try to see the brighter side to everything. So say if I'm at work and a coworker is being just negative, they're just speaking negative, they're just talking about how bad the day is about to go, they're just talking bad about, everybody. I just try to flip everything to a positive. I try to tell myself okay, well, Tanala, you've had worse days. It's going to be okay. You're always equipped with the strength to maneuver through this day, no matter how bad or terrible it may get. Okay, well, they're talking about that person over there, but that doesn't mean that you have to engage in the conversation too. Okay, just because they are gossiping or talking about somebody else in a bad way, that doesn't mean that you have to respond. That doesn't mean that you have to laugh when they say that. You can literally just ignore it, okay? So basically, I feel like a lot of this Two, it just comes with not worrying about what other people say or may think. Because when I first began to make the decision to just go my own route and not always engage in negativity, it was tough. It was so tough. It was so tough. I felt like if someone else around me was talking bad or talking down on another person, I felt like I had to respond and, you know, include myself. I felt like I had to, you know, sprinkle in a little something, add in something else about the person as well, until I had to sit back and realize, like, wait a minute, you don't have to say anything. Like, you don't have to say anything at all. So I started to just like zone out. And something about me too is y'all, I think about like 10 things at once anyway, so it's not difficult for me to zone out. So I just began to like zone out and be in my own world. So if they're like, did you hear what I just said? You heard what I said about them? Or I'll just literally be like, no, like I'm like zoned out. Or say if I'm in a situation where they're talking directly to me about someone else, I either ignore them and like literally ignore them, act like they didn't say anything. I respond back to everything like this anyway. Like, I'll be like, Lord, like that's something that me and like one of my best friends, we do that all the time. And I know she probably watching this video, like we respond back to everything like, Lord, like we just say that. So it's like, that's literally, if I just have to respond, that would be my response. It's like, you do not have to include yourself in negativity if you don't feel comfortable doing so, and if you just don't want to. Like, it's okay, you don't have to, okay? And so the next thing I want to talk about real quick is, say if you are beginning to change and it's just certain things you don't want in your life no more. Like, you don't want negativity anymore, and you start to realize that your closest friends or that even family is like super duper negative. So when I first began to change, I went about this the wrong way. Instead of encouraging the closest people to me to, you know, help them change their ways or whatever the case may be, instead of me doing that, I went about it the wrong way. Like, I completely distanced myself in the wrong way. Yes, during I can't talk, y'all. But yes, during certain circumstances, you do have to start distancing yourself, all right? But there's a certain way to go about it. Like, do it in a respectful way. Like, don't just completely shut down and act funny towards people. Like, that's the route that I chose to take. Like, when I just was not feeling certain things no more, and I was just, you know, in the mode of trying to find myself, and it was certain things I didn't want to include myself in anymore, I went about it the wrong way, y'all. I went about it the wrong way. So there's a certain way that you can do this. So anyway, as I was saying, how to go about it when people closest to you are doing those things. You can either choose to correct them in a nice, loving way by telling them, like, all right, now, like, that was wrong of you to say that now. Like, it's a certain way to do it. Like, you don't have to get all angry and be like, I really wish you would just stop being negative. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to do that. You can literally, like, you know, tell them in a loving way, like, all right now, like, you ain't had to say all that now, like, all right, like, calm down, like, you're doing too much. Like, there's a way. It all kind of depends on who you're talking to, and it kind of depends on your personalities. It kind of all depends on you know, what you normally do when you are correcting someone in a loving way. If you are a pretty blunt person and you just kind of watch your tone of voice when you say things, you can go about it like that. So that's one thing you can do. You can just, you know, correct them in a loving way. Another thing you can do as well is, like I said, ignore it. Just don't entertain it. Like, don't engage it. But the way you do not want to go about it is that you do not want to just, you know, distance yourself in a nasty way. Like, you do not want to do that. Like, don't do that, because you never know. These people may end up, you know, looking at you as an example, and they may end up actually applying changes to their lives, and they may end up becoming a better person one day, and, you know, they may begin to align with you in whatever season that you are in. and you're gonna wish that you still had a good, strong connection with them. So just, you know, kind of tell them in a loving way. All right, just kind of tell them in a loving way, like just be that example for them. But don't just completely shut people off in a nasty way. Like, don't do that. It's not cool. Okay, it's not cool. And also too, I feel like all of this kind of comes with realizing that everyone is not like you. Everyone is not like you. Okay, just because you have decided to take a different route and make certain changes in your life and not, you know, engage in negative things, that does not mean that the people who you grew up with, that doesn't mean that the people in your family or the people that you're closest to want to grow as well. Like, some people are okay with where they are, and like that's completely fine. Don't start to see yourself as being above other people just because you have decided to take initiative to grow in a different area in your life. Do not do that. Like, just be an example for the people who you love. Like, be an example. Like, don't try to see yourself as, oh my gosh, like, you know, my mindset is so different. Like, I just really cannot vibe with these people no more. Like yes, once you change, there are going to be a lot of people who you were probably cool with for years. Like, you're going to shed these people like no other once you begin to grow. But one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to begin to see yourself as above them. Okay, like, that's not cool. That's not good at all. Never see yourself as being above anybody, and never see yourself as being below anybody either. Okay, so yeah, y'all, I really hope that this was able to help y'all. And yeah, just drop in the comments other videos that y'all want to see, other topics that y'all would like me to talk about. If you're struggling to maneuver through a certain season in your life, or you're, you know, kind of questioning how you want to go about a certain situation, please comment that down below. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Oh yeah, y'all, road to 500 subscribers, y'all. Road to 500. Yes. So make sure y'all subscribe, and make sure y'all tell y'all friends and family to subscribe as well. Okay, because we gonna make it to 500. We gonna make it to 500. So yeah, thank y'all so much. I love y'all so much. And yeah, bye.